Hi, I've been going to do this for a while. This is to speak, maybe briefly, about what I believe is the most underrated James Bond movie that's ever been made. I've seen I've seen all of them. I do have quite a few of them, actually. Not a massive fan, but I'm very into the books. I've got all the books, and yeah, I've seen quite a few. I've seen most of them. Oh, I've seen all of them actually, and the ones obviously with Daniel Craig are the ones that have been the ones that have been in the media most recently, but they are the best ones probably for me, with the exception of Quantum of Solace, I think. But yeah, of the earlier Bond films, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, it's had a lot of abuse over the years. I think it's been misunderstood for a very long time. Probably, or most likely because, yeah, I've got a copy. I just recently got this when I was in Scotland. Oh no, I didn't. I ordered it. Yeah, I got another copy from Scotland when I was in Scotland earlier this year, in summer. But the artwork wasn't exactly great, so I got this edition. And I took a look here, and I've seen it twice already. It is a brilliant adaptation, and yes, it's got a shocking ending. Yes, it is. Again, it is misunderstood, but at the very least, it is the most accurate adaptation. Again, I've read all the books. I've got all the books. Some nice editions, actually. And yeah, it is the most accurate of all the Bond adaptations. And I think George Lazenby did a brilliant job of stepping into the shoes of the great Sean Connery. They were tough shoes to fill. And no, he didn't have much acting. He had hardly any acting experience. He was an Australian model. But I don't see what difference that makes. You know, everyone's got to start somewhere, and modelling is, well, it may not be acting per se, but it's where a lot of these performers, these actors, begin. You know, they do. How many models turn actors, or how many actresses turn? I mean, how many female models turn actresses? You know, so it's not such an unusual step. But he was obviously the right guy at the right time, and he also knew martial arts. So apparently at the time, so he was able to do the fight scenes really well, and we really convincing him. They were really brutal fight scenes in the movie as well. And I think he carries the part with a lot of confidence. He steps into the part very naturally. And frankly, I think he was brilliant playing James Bond. From the moment the movie starts, it's like, yeah, that's Bond. It's brilliant. And yeah, of course, what the story focuses on is it's a love story. With, of course, yes, it ends tragically, which is the shocking, which is all part of the shock. But in that respect, I suppose it's a darker movie. But of all the early Bond movies, of all the early ones, this is my favourite. I haven't got any of the other early ones. Certainly none of the ones made in the 60s. I haven't got any of them. This is the only one I like, and this is the only one I'm a fan of. It dared to take a chance, it dared to be different, and it dared to be accurate. And George Lazenby in it Yeah, he was brilliant in the part. I think it's a great shame that he didn't do another one. But considering the later feedback probably got and what the powers that be were going to do, I don't think there was much chance he was ever going to do another one. The box office takings, by the way, which I've checked out online, it was a massive hit. It was a really big hit and it did very well. So, in all respects, it was a success. But I'm suspecting that fans were like, their reaction was, no, we need Sean Connery back. Which was, suppose that was going to happen, really, wasn't it? But I just think it's a great shame for George that he didn't do another one, because I think it would have been, to see the reaction and what it would have been like in a movie that followed. The next movie that would have followed would have been You Only Live Twice, because that was the book that came after on Her Majesty's Secret Service. But of course, You Only Live Twice had already been done. Sean Connery did that. So I think that was On Her Majesty's Secret Service, of course, came I think after that. So that was not going to be made, was it? But yeah, I think it's a great shame that he didn't do another one. But he did one cracking movie. Maybe that's enough. It's remembered. It's appreciated much later on now, I think. I think there's been a massive reappreciation for it. Maybe not everyone still loves it, no. But there is an appreciation for it. And it is seen as one of the best adaptations. It's certainly the most accurate adaptation of a James Bond book by Ian Fleming. So it's got many pluses, and I think the love story that features in it between him and his wife to be, Tracy. Yeah, I thought Diana Rigg was really great as playing Tracy, which makes, of course, the payoff at the end, the tragic payoff, all the more painful. But it does set it up brilliantly. There's almost a sense of doom running through the whole movie. It's like James Bond getting married, or wait a minute, not sure about this. So it kind of does have that impending sense of doom about it, which makes it darker, which makes it better, really. But yeah, I think any credit or any plaudits that come the movie's way, I think he fully deserves them, and I think George Lazenby fully deserves any accolades or plaudits. Not that there's been that many, but that can be part of the reappreciation for it, because he was brilliant. And from what I've seen on the documentary on the other edition, apparently I think his agent, or his manager, agent or publicist, whoever he was at the time, told producers that no, George will not be appearing in another one. He's not coming back. So it wasn't George Lazenby's doing. I think it was actually his publicist, agent, managers, whatever. Yeah, they said, yeah, he won't be coming back. Many consider that a bit of a shame. I do, again, too. But he did one brilliant movie. This one. Yeah, it's fondly remembered. And I think it's lasted, and it is certainly a film that I like to look at again and again. I've only seen it twice so far, but I will look at it again, because I do love it. I think it's a brilliant movie. So it's certainly got an audience, and it's lasted. That's the great thing about it. So I say, well done, George Lazenby. You pulled up a cracker there, and you were really great as James Bond. You stepped in. You were almost really. He came across as very natural. and I think he did a hell of a job. And to step into the shoes of Sean Connery might not have been easy, but I think he pulled it off, and he pulled it off very well. So well done, George. We do remember it. It was well worth a look. So on Her Majesty's Secret Service has survived. And the other crazy thing about it, which I still kind of laugh, it was made the year I was born. So that's another big plus for it. So yeah, well done, George. Great stuff. Okay, cheers, bye.